Alright, so what's going on with the Camaro? I'm going to make it as simple as I can for you guys. Basically, shortly after I sold the Honda, like in the last video I told you guys I was going heads cam, this and that, yada yada yada. I talked to Richard and, he was like, hey, when are you going to be bringing me the car? So I hit up, the guy doing all the body work, and I was like, hey man, when's the car going to be done? And I'm like, look, like, all bullshit aside, like, just be real with me. I don't care if it's 3 weeks from now, a week from now. I need a for sure date. That way the car can be there for Richard to do all the motor work on, and it'd be done. So, I went over that with him, and I'm just like, look, shit needs to get done. I need a due date. Like, I need the official date at when I'm going to be able to pick up my car. So he says, you know what, it'll be done this weekend. And this was after, a month and like 3 days being in the body shop. He goes, it'll be there. I'm working on the car right now. You're good to go. Your car will be out this weekend. That was on Monday of this past week. He said the car was going to be done. Well, I told him, I said, you got to be real with me here, because I have, I'm going to be using somebody else's time, another business's time to work on my motor and stuff. So I don't want to tell him, okay, we're going to do it on this day, and there is no, okay, well, it's not done, sorry, cancel your guys' plans. You know what I mean? That's wrong. It's not how you do business. It's really bad. Long story short, what happened was I waited all last week. And he's like, it'll be done the weekend. Trust me, it'll be done. I need your car out of here. It's done this weekend. Pick it up. Perfect. Like, that's cool to me, I mean, I don't care. So I'm like, perfect. So I hit up my guy, Richard, and I'm like, hey, be done this weekend. And he's like, okay, cool. That's perfect. I have, we'll schedule all next week just for your car. So I'm like, oh man, that is perfect. Well, it went, all last week, and, I didn't want to bug him. I'm like, I don't feel like hitting him up and, bugging him, because I don't want him to, think that I'm, like, being that pushy. But obviously I was stressing it, I'm like, I've been without my car for, a long time now, and I want my car back, but it's like now it's on a whole nother level, because now, other people are waiting on my car, not just me. So at that point I was completely locked in. Today is Monday. Okay, I didn't hit him up over the weekend. I was like, you know what, maybe, he's going to call me Monday morning and say, the car's done, you can pick it up tonight after work. All is good, all is well, perfect. Never got a word. So I sent him a text message and I was like, hey man, I hope all is well. What's the status on the car? He responded back to me and he goes, it's getting there. Your car will be done Wednesday. And right then and there, I told him, I said, Wednesday, I don't think you understood, what we've done here. I told you to be 100% honest and give me a for sure date at when it was going to be done, because I was, making plans and having other people, work on their schedule to do this for me. Long story short, it wasn't going to be done till Wednesday. Today's still Monday. And I talked to Richard, and Richard said, I'm booked for the next 3 weeks. I cannot do your car. So now I'm going heads and cam. I'm going to have to wait 3 weeks, and I'm going to wait however long to finish my car. Like, I don't know what to do at this point. So I paid him a visit at the body shop, and this is how I found my car. It's you know what I mean? I have nothing bad to say. The guy doing the body work is my friend. In fact, it's just, it hurts me because, I was thinking completely different for, what was going on. It was one of those things where it was just like, okay, I thought my car was getting worked on and that it was going to be ready over the weekend, and I got there and it was the same how it's looked for weeks. Granted, he's got all the parts done and it just needs paint, but the whole body of the car still needs to be sanded. And that just kind of hurt me a little bit. So I was like, you know what, whatever. I talked to Richard. Richard said, you need to get me your car today at this time in order for it to be done this week, because if not, it's going to be 3 weeks. So what did I do? I pulled out the car. Here's a little video clip of it being put on the trailer. Today's just been a shit day. The body shop deal, me having to tow the car out of there, it kicked me in the ass earlier, and then shortly after Richard got the car, it turns out that the guy that I traded my Firehawk with, which was the guy that I sold my Camaro to, he mixed coolants in the car, as well as he filled the entire radiator system with stop leak, or like an Alumaseal, and you know, Richard immediately just drained the coolant and it was full of shit, and he pulled the valve covers off, and sure enough, as you can see here, the heads were completely filled with rust and very, very thick, you know, that gummy, muddy sort of coolant mixture filled in the heads. So the heads were completely filled with that. They're rusty. It's just, you know, it's one of those things. My heads were fucked up, then the body shop, and now my car, you know, it's getting the motor build, and the car isn't done. The motor's getting built, and the car looks like the biggest pile of fucking shit on the fucking planet right now. It really looks bad. Obviously, nothing lines up right now, as you can see in the pictures, just because he just threw it on there just so, you know, they could put it on the tow truck. Because I guess there's some sort of, like, issue with AAA when they're towing a car and the panels aren't all on. So he put the panels on. The panels were good to go. Headlights are on, but nothing's adjusted. Nothing's even bolted up. So, yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm going to let Richard do his thing. Like I showed you guys, I'm bringing him all the parts right now for the motor, the intake, all the cam shit, the fucking heads, they're all done. It just sucks. I've been on such a time crunch. You have no idea. I had the guy who did the head work on the car, you know, running back and forth to make deadlines. I had Richard on deadlines. Everybody was on deadline. I've been stressing like crazy the past few, you know, weeks or so. I've just been stressing, and I've had enough. So that's why today I was just like, you know what? I told my body guy, I said, I'm going to pull the car out. He's going to finish the motor. Once he finishes the motor, I'll tow the car back to you. And when you get the car, just fucking finish it. Just paint it. I don't even want to pick it up till it's wet sanded and the emblems are on. Just finish it, because I can't physically take the stress anymore. I just don't want to deal with it. It sucks, because this was supposed to be an exciting, you know, thing for me, doing the whole heads and cam build. I've always wanted to do this, and I've always imagined it being way more of a pleasant thing. It just sucks that I'm not going to be able to drive my car after doing the heads and cam. You know, I'm going to have to put it on a flatbed, and then the car's going to be gone for a fucking week or two. You know, it sucks. But, you know, shit happens. That's why, you know, I'm not mad at anybody in this situation. I'm not mad at anybody at all. Shit happens. Life happens. Shit comes up. But, yeah. So, yeah, just figured I'd get one more look at all the parts. So, obviously got all my stuff from Texas Speed, gaskets, all GM gaskets, the cam, trunnion kit, oil pump, all the ARP stuff, timing chain, lifters. And I never showed you guys, I picked up a LS6 intake manifold, because I did have, you know, the stock shitty LS1, which is, it's really, really garbage. It's a little dirty right now, but, yeah, LS6 intake. And I also got my heads all done from a guy out in Oxnard, super cool guy named Sal. He did all the work on the heads. So as you can see, the springs are already on. The dual valve springs with the new valve seats, I believe they are. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, so the dual valve springs are all on, the titanium retainers. He completely cleaned, decked, resurfaced the heads, did a mild port work on it, as well as the full valve job for the SI valves that I got. Yeah, I'll show you guys in here. See right there, the valves, everything's real clean. He did an amazing job on the heads. Everything is super duper clean. I'll go ahead and show you guys the valves. There you go, there's a good shot of the valves. So yeah, heads are done. They're fully complete now. 243 heads. Like I said, he milled down the heads a little bit. Did the full valve job with the 160 and a 202 SI valve. Put the dual springs, the titanium retainers on. Got the LS6 intake manifold. And yeah, literally just got to go drop everything off, and then everything's gonna get put on. So it should be pretty cool.